Hey everybody, this is Hunter Madison. I'm here to review a Leatherman Wave. If you've ever wanted to purchase one of these, you've seen them online or want to know if they're any good, well, I'm here to tell you if they're good or if they're not what they're cracked up to be. Because first of all, it comes in this nylon sheath. It's okay. It is what it is. Nothing's going to be bomb-proof or anything, but this has been decent. You can see I've kind of bent that a little bit. Never had a problem with this. I mean, it's came off, but I've never had a problem actually losing my tool. And I've even sometimes when I'm working and I'm having to use this tool and another tool, I sometimes just kind of do that there, and it kind of stays in there pretty good. In fact, I did that yesterday. I was working on some fence, and I'm a farmer, so I'm all the time using tools, and sometimes abusing tools, not using them for their exact purpose, and that's kind of what I've done with this. And so is it worth it? Is it worth the, I don't know, was it $80, $90 to buy one of these? Is it worth it? I'm gonna say, yeah, I'd say so. So what do you get when you get a Leatherman Wave? Well, first of all, you get to be a part of a select few that buys these high-end multi-tools. Not very many people do, and it's kind of a shame. They're pretty useful. I've had mine for about almost 2 years now, and like I said, I've abused them. I've used the wire cutters pretty hard and heavy. I probably need to replace them. That's the good thing about them. You can replace these wire cutters with a Torx head, or was that not Torx head? That's just a star head or whatever you call them. You can replace those and get new ones. I don't know what they cost, but I haven't found the need to do that. They cut pretty decent. But what you get out of this $80 multi-tool is quite a bit. You get at least $80 worth. And I'm kind of new into getting tools and everything, and I don't have a file. And it's been my experience. This is a pretty nice file. It's got your coarse grain here, just double cross cut, coarse grain wood file. You can use it on metal too. It doesn't work as great on metal, but good on wood. And then it's got this diamond file. And these are all accessible this tool is accessible when the when the Leatherman is closed completely. And this is diamond file, and I've used this. This has saved me lots of money on chainsaw chains, just being able to, if you've ever had a chainsaw chain come off, and you know how it kind of boogers up the teeth that go into the grooves. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to explain, but this has saved me $20 just didn't have to buy a new chain. And if you already have a file, this isn't going to none of these tools are going to replace your main tools, but in a pinch, this thing works wonders. And if you don't have all your tools handy all the time, which I don't, I keep this on my belt, and I'm using it all the time. And if you have this, you're going to use it. So if you don't have tools and you see something that needs to be done, and you're like, well, I don't have the tools, well, this kind of solves that for you. You have everything you need. So that's your file, and it works great, like I said. Then you got your other tool on the other side. It's a knife. It's I think it's 420 HC. This is the serrated knife, and it works pretty good cutting handmade materials. I use it if I don't have another knife on me. I use it to cut bale wrap if you're a farmer. Bale wrap's kind of hard to cut, and a lot of people use box cutters, but box cutters, they wear out pretty easy. For some reason, cutting bale wrap really dulls things, but I found that this really does a pretty good job, and it doesn't really need sharpening, I've noticed, and that's pretty good. It's really good. I like that it has both of these knives in it. I'll show you the other knife. The other knife's right here, and it's also one-hand accessible. And it's, I think that's a drop point, and it also comes sharp when you get it. It's still pretty sharp. It could be sharper. I've used it quite a bit. Also good blade. I'm not gonna measure it. You have the specs online. Pretty good blade. You don't need a super long knife anyway for a multi-tool, but it's good that you have as long as one that comes with these Leathermans. And they all have this liner lock. Works pretty good. Never really failed on me. I don't really know how important the liner lock is in your life, but yeah, it is what it is. It's pretty nice. And then one of my favorite tools is actually the saw, and I've used it probably more than anything. As you see, I got all these shaving. Used it yesterday, cutting limbs. If you don't have anything else, this really works great. I have noticed that it's bent a little bit, and this is liner lock too. It bends a little bit and kind of catches. It doesn't anymore. I've kind of bent it back, but it'll sometimes catch. How to frame here? Catch right there. I don't know if you see that. And it hasn't really damaged the blades or the cutting edge, but it is something to be kind of cautious about. And if you get the surge, you can get, all the T-type saws that you get from like jigsaws and everything. You use those. But I've found that this has been probably the best saw you can buy in a multi-tool package. So if you really need a saw in your multi-tool, get a Leatherman Wave or a Leatherman Surge. They make the best. Oh, almost dropped it. Okay, so what else do you get? You get pliers. Are they good pliers? Yeah, they're pretty good. If you notice, they come to a complete close. I don't know what you call that. Tolerance is very high or low. I don't even know what the words is. I'm just going to say it. They come together really nicely. And that's important if you're ever going to do fine detail work with this. I mean, obviously, you're going to have your regular needle nose, so these are just going to be in for, they're going to take place. They're not going to take place of needle nose, but they definitely work very nicely. And like I said, the wire cutters, they work pretty good. Hard wire cutters in the back, and then you get your stranded wire cutters kind of in front. Not a whole lot of cutting edge, but it works good for me. I have noticed that if you're going to cut stranded wires, sometimes it binds, and you can't actually open them very well, because they kind of, if you see, the cutters slide past one another, and it kind of binds in there. It doesn't actually cut it all the way, especially if you're cutting, I cut a lot of nylon electric fence. This isn't the tool for that. You need a good knife, but I don't want to mar up these knives with that. It's got that metal in it. I don't want to cut metal on metal. I usually use my box cutter for that. Replace those blades, but these work, and they work really well. And I've cut barbed wire with it. Did that yesterday. Worked great. And I probably do need to replace these blades. It's probably why it doesn't do such a great job anymore. But had these for 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And they work great. So pliers, thumbs up on the pliers. I like them. And they've served me well. And if you're using fence clips, they do everything you need them to do. I've used these on things I didn't think I'd ever... And I was pretty skeptical on multi-tools, because I've had those cheap Walmart multi-tools, and they suck. So why would you spend $80 on another multi-tool? Well, you get what you pay for in a multi-tool. I don't like the Gerbers. Some people do. You flip them and they can come open. I don't like that. They wobble. You see, this doesn't wobble. There's no rattling. It's good made. Or made good. Gosh, can't speak. And they got these wire crimpers. I don't ever use those. I guess a person could. But if you're going to be doing wire crimping, you're probably going to use regular pliers, or just this, or whatever, just a flat end here. You're not really going to use that. Maybe you will. Maybe you do a lot of electrical work and you use that. I don't. What else do you get? Well, everything else is opened right here on the outside when you have it, or on the inside when you have it, the multi-tool open. What do you get? Well, you get this flat screwdriver, and it's and they make a pretty good screwdriver. They do break, so don't, this is not going to replace your regular screwdriver. They do break, and I've broken one. I've got a Leatherman Crunch, and I like it pretty well too. But my wife gave that to me my wife bought that for me from Christmas one year. They make a good screwdriver, but don't, this isn't going to replace, like I said, your regular screwdriver. So don't go ham on a nut or a screw or whatever you're going to use this on. And you could use it as a scraper too if you're going to do some small scraping. Like maybe you got your chainsaw dirty, you're going to scrape all that gunk out. Don't use a knife. It's not smart. What else do you get on this side? Well, we'll go on the other side. You get scissors. And these are pretty good scissors. I use them on loose strings, or if I'm wrapping paper, like for Christmas, wrapping paper. I sometimes use this because my wife has good scissors all the time. I don't know where they're at. Works pretty good. They are what they are. I'm not going to get too much into detail on scissors. They're all pretty much the same. I'd say maybe, I hear Swiss Army makes better scissors, but you know what? I don't care. This is American made. And I'm American, so it's more important to me that I get American made product. Then you got this little, it's what it is, I don't know if you can see that, I'm not focused right. It's kind of like an eyeglass. You can't really see that. Eyeglass bit. It kind of goes in there. I don't use this a whole lot. I don't wear glasses, but I guess I don't like this tool in here. I think they should have done something different. I don't know what, but I don't like it as much. I don't use it ever. So if you need this, yeah, get it. I don't think the Surge has one. So if you're gonna get one, you need this. Get a wave, and it'll serve you well. What else you got? Well, you got this bit exchanger, and it's nice. I like it. It does have these proprietary bits. They stay in there pretty good. These proprietary bits, and you can get the bit kit. I don't, because, like I said, this isn't going to replace your regular screwdriver. I got better screwdrivers that I use. I use these in a pinch, but I really don't want to break the tool, so I only use this on smaller tasks if I have it available, which I usually do. And the last tool you're going to get, also one of my favorite tools, and it's kind of like a 3-in-1. You can use it. It doesn't say that you can use it as this, but you can. But it's a can opener, obviously bottle opener, can opener. You can strip wires with it. I've used it a couple of times. It doesn't work that great, but it does work. I'd rather use electricians' wire cutters or wire strippers. But another thing you can use this for, some people say you can't, some people say you can. You can use it kind of like an awl or scraper or whatever you want to use it for. A tool is what you make it. And if you're a farmer, sometimes tools are abused because they're not really meant to do the things you need them to do. But you know what? Life happens and you got to use it the way you have to. Is this a good can opener? It is. I actually prefer using this can opener because, I don't know, there's something about it it's kind of fun for me. Like I said in the previous video, I enjoy working, I enjoy using my tools, and it's a good can opener. I'm not going to use it for you today because I'm not that hungry right now, so I don't need to get in a can. But this is a good can opener. So is this worth the $80 that you spend on it? At first, you may not think so. You may buy it especially if you lose things often. I've lost this a couple times, but I've always found it, especially because my wife knows where everything is, and usually whenever I lose it, it's because she moves it, or because I don't take care of my things as well as I should, but I'm getting better at that. But is this worth the $80? Initially, you may not think so, but in the long term, yeah, I think so. This is going to last you, I think they have a 25-year warranty. Very serviceable tool. You're going to use it a lot if you have it on you. That's the thing. If you're going to buy this and never wear it, in the sheath, or if you're just going to put it in a toolbox or a tool drawer, you're never really going to use it. You're going to use this more if you actually wear it. So if you don't plan on wearing it, you don't have, you're not actually going to be out there with this on your belt, you won't use it as much as you're going to use your regular tools. You're not going to be, I need a screwdriver, let me get my Leatherman. No, you're especially if you're going to need pliers and a screwdriver at the same time, or maybe two sets of pliers. Maybe you'll use this and another set of pliers. But you're not going to use this if you just have it in a tool drawer. So if you're out there and you think, well, I want a Leatherman. Well, are you going to wear it? If you are, then it's worth the $80. If you just like multi-tools and you just want one, I would get the Wave, not the Surge, because Surge is a little bit more expensive and you get pretty much the same thing. And the Wave's probably more versatile anyway, and the Surge is just so big. I don't have one here. And you know what? I can't really say anything because I don't have a Surge. But it's been my experience reading reviews and just looking at it. This really fits me a little bit better, but I will get me a Surge one point in my life. Because I think I like the T thing the T, gosh, I don't know, the T bits, what do you call them? Those bits that come in when you got your saw. If you've seen a Leatherman Surge, you know what I'm talking about. But instead of having a saw, you have a saw and a file it comes with, and it comes with that jigsaw bit. They're not proprietary. You can use any jigsaw bit that you want. Metal bits, and it makes it a little bit more versatile saw. So I like it. I would, if this one never breaks, if I ever lose it, I would buy me another one. Luckily, I haven't lost it. So, who is this for? Like I said, this is for someone who's going to wear it. Someone who works a lot. It's also for someone who doesn't really have a whole lot of tools. Anyway, if you live in an apartment and you don't have you don't have a whole lot of space for a bunch of tools, and you can't really justify getting a whole file, like a 4-in-hand, which is not very expensive, but you can't justify getting a good set of pliers, cutters, a good knife, 2 knives, in fact. If you can't justify all this and spend, because you're going to spend on good stuff, you're going to spend a little bit more than $80. I mean, you got 2 knives. Okay, let's say these knives are $4.20, $20 knives, so that's $40. So no one really does this on videos I've seen, but you get pliers, you get decent sized pliers with replaceable things here, replaceable cutters. I'd say $20 tool as well, so you're at $60, maybe $15. We'll do $55. Okay, so just the knives and the pliers, you're at $55 if you're gonna go buy regular tools that are decent quality, not the best quality, decent. And then you got you a saw. Well, let's say that's it. I'd say that's probably at least a $10 saw. So now you're at $75. And that's just on the tools on the outside. Oh, I forgot about this. I'd say $5 maybe, I don't know. Let's say you're at $80. Well, that's your whole tool and just the outside tools and the pliers. And that doesn't even, that's not even your inside tools here. So you're at $80. That's the price of the tool. Then you got your screwdrivers, your scissors, everything else. I'd say everything. So you don't really need expensive screwdrivers. I mean, some people say you do. I like better and higher end screwdrivers myself. So you got a screwdriver, maybe say $5. Then you have a bit exchanger here, another $5. $5 for can opener. $5 for scissors. You know, they're not best scissors. You can probably get cheap scissors for $5. So what is that? 5, 10, 15, 20. And you got this little, you know, I'd give that a $3 one. So $23 in the inside tools. You're looking at $100 in tools, and you can't really do that and have this small package. So if you just live by yourself and you need all these tools, or you think you do, I get one. Because you know what, this is a lifetime tool, heritage tools. People say you're gonna have this your entire life probably, unless you lose it, unless it breaks, which probably won't break. Has a 25-year warranty. Send it in, they'll replace it, give you a whole new one maybe, which is nice. This is for you guys who need all these things and you don't have the money to go out and get all of them, or the space. This doesn't replace everything. It's just gonna give you what you need in a pinch. Some people say it's the wrong tool for the right job. I don't like that saying, but some people say it. I say it's a pretty good tool. I use it a lot, and I recommend it. So, would I recommend this over any other tool, other multi-tools? Yes, I wouldn't get. I mean, if you can only afford, you know, if you can't afford $80, $90 on a multi-tool, and you can only afford maybe $50, Gerber makes good, or you know, they make better, cheaper, not better, but cheaper multi-tools. Leatherman does. Get a Wingman or Sidekick. They make decent ones. Or I think the Super Tool is probably, that's pretty. I forgot what it costs, but they make cheaper ones. But I like this Wave. It's probably their best one. Or they got a Charge series. I guess got better knives, but you know, you don't need to spend that much money, I don't think, on knives, because usually you're gonna have a knife already. But if you don't, you need a better knife, get the Charge series. It's just like the Wave, except for it's got better knives. Everything else is basically the same, and they got different colors too. You don't have to get the stainless. But that's it. Get one if you think you want one. Get one. You won't regret it. You may think, well, I could have spent that $80 on my taxes, but you know what? This is better because you get a tool. Anywho, that's it.